Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. I hope you're well. It is, what day is it? Tuesday. And I'm going to the gym, basically. Going to the gym, then going to the studio. Again, a little bit like the last episode, it's a completely pretty much in the studio type vlog, apart from this bit where I go to the gym. Because at the moment there's nothing else in the, well, there is something in the diary tomorrow and Thursday. But there's no big travel on. Tomorrow and Thursday, I'm going to London, which I think I'll vlog. I think I'll cover that as well, because why not? But it is, apart from that, at the moment, it's just time in the studio, which has been absolutely amazing. I think I mentioned this in the previous vlog, that I love travel. I love traveling the world with this business and doing all that sort of stuff. But just getting some consistent time in that room has been amazing. Getting lots of stuff done, and we're about a week now into me having given up editing completely. So I'm not the editor in the business anymore. Niall is doing pretty much all of it. In fact, he is doing all of it. He's doing all of the short form stuff, these vlogs, and now the long form YouTube videos for the Mark Ellis Reviews channel. Excuse me. And I won't lie, it's a scary thing to give up. It's a very weird thing to give up as well. That's the overriding kind of emotion that I have about it. It just feels weird. It feels great, don't get me wrong. And the time I'm getting back is amazing. And the freedom that gives you to, sorry, my voice is going, invest time in stuff that really moves the needle, as they say. I hate that phrase, but it's true. The stuff that really helps the business grow is why I'm doing it. But you do just feel a bit odd, because it's, for over 4 years, excuse me, for over 4 years, I've been the guy who's been editing all of the videos, all of the long form videos on the reviews channel. And giving it up it's like giving up, I was going to say giving up one of your children. It's not like that. It's like, it's a little bit like that in a very weird, in a very kind of diminished way. And you have to have a lot of trust in the person that you're giving that to. You have to have a very good process in place, and you have to just let go, really, and accept that the way that person will do things might be slightly different, but actually that's not a bad thing. And we're working on the trust thing, firstly, no problem there at all. Niall is fantastic. I'm saying this obviously because he edits these videos, but yeah, trust-wise, no issue there whatsoever. In terms of letting go and accepting the fact that things will look possibly slightly different, and the processes that we're putting in place, we're working on all that stuff, and it's working out really well. So if you're interested, the Tesla video, the big 98-inch TV video, and the Fold 6 video, and the Flip 6 video, if that's out by the time that you watch this. It may not be. And what's the other one? There's another one that he's done, or is doing at the moment. The Pad 2, the OnePlus Pad 2 video. All of those videos were edited by Niall from start to finish. So I filmed them, I gave him the footage, and I didn't do any of the editing. That was all him. And I'd love to know if you've noticed it. If you do watch, I presume you watch the reviews channel, I'd love to know if you've noticed a difference, what you think, or if you didn't notice a difference. If you haven't spotted that it's been edited by someone else, happy days. So yeah, it's a very weird thing to give up, but it was the right thing to do. And I've just kind of gone cold turkey with it. It's a bit like, I've never had to give up smoking, but people who give up smoking and just stop. That's kind of what I've done with this. So yeah, that's good. And like I say, it just means that I can now focus wholly on really focusing on content, basically. That's the key thing. Content, strategy, going out and doing events and schmoozing and doing all that stuff, building relationships with brands and things like that. That is my job now. So yeah, exciting times. Anyway, to the gym to get some work done, do a workout, and then head to the studio. Not a bad view for a morning's work, really. Gym done, and you will not hear me moaning about the weather today. Apart from the fact it might be a bit too hot in the car when I get... No, I will not moan about the weather. Oh, my God, it's so hot in the car. Whew. Right, not showing off, but ventilated seats, where are they? Oh, come on, yeah. Loads of aircon. Still amazes me that you guys watch this. Oh, that feels so good. That was a really hard workout. Mark Fox, if you're watching this, my personal trainer, Fox Fitness, by the way, check him out, he's brilliant. He's put me on a new bunch of weight workouts. I've just done the latest one, and that was hard. Good hard, but hard. Anyway, got some work done. So the plan today, really, if you can hear me above the din of the air conditioning, is to get this Flip, where is it? Flip 6 review done. So while I was working at that lovely location outside at the gym, I was writing the blog post, which is written and now uploaded to the website, so it can be proofread by the team and published. So all that's left to be done is all of the video, is filming the A-roll, which is basically me kind of riffing on that blog post, filming the B-roll, giving all that to Niall, obviously, for editing. And we're ahead with this because this isn't going live until next week, which is nice, because I do have a long weekend plan, which is equally nice. And then if I've still got time, which might be a push to be honest, I will get a little short form thing done as well on the Flip, because we're doing lots of proper short form stuff at the minute, and it's really, really exciting, and it's working out quite nicely. So I'm very inspired by that. But anyway, back to the studio. Back in the studio, just had some lunch and watched the Bloomberg interview with Mark Zuckerberg about AI. Well, watched about 5 minutes of it. Quite interesting, worth checking out. A bit weird as always, but interesting. Anyway, now, slight issue. I've eaten, which sounds fine, that's normal. People have lunch. The problem is that I normally do A-roll shooting before lunch, and if I do it after lunch, I've got this kind of very full feeling. Typically I drink some kind of fizzy drink. I know that's not the right thing to do, but I do. Which has issues as well when you're trying to talk to a camera and things happen. So that's going to be interesting. But anyway, before I do that, I do need to get the notes in order for the video, which I'm going to do in a second. The other thing that I'm going to do is unbox the sponsored things for this video. So it's basically a phone case and a screen protector. So I need to do the old overhead thing with that. Tweak the script. It's not really a script, but tweak the bullet points I'm reading from. And then head over there and film the A-roll and then do the B-roll. Time check. I don't think I've done a time check. Have I done a time check today? Time check. It is 12:05. So lots to do. Okay, so scripting thing that isn't actually a script done. Now it's time to film the A-roll. So let's move all the chairs out the way. I think I've talked about this before, but in terms of the setup for A-roll these days, I'm not really moving around the studio. I did this thing a little while ago where I do these kind of different sets, and for each section of the video I'd be standing or sitting in a different place. I don't know if that made any difference to retention rather, and attention. I'm not sure that it did, to be completely honest, and it's a bit of a faff. to be brutally honest, it's more work than I think is worth it. So don't tend to do that anymore. That it doesn't mean I won't ever do it ever again, but I'm more inclined these days just to sit there basically and not move. So to do that in terms of cameras, to make it as interesting as possible, we use a 2-camera setup. So the FX3 is here, that's the main camera, that's the one that I talk into. And then we have the second camera here, which is the A7 IV, and this is like a B cam basically. So we use this for a couple of reasons. One of them is just to introduce a bit more interest. So unfortunately with YouTube, attention spans, in fact not just YouTube, but attention spans generally speaking these days are very small. So you have to introduce things into your video to kind of keep people awake and stop them from running off and going to TikTok instead. To do that, you can put on B-roll, put B-roll on top of your A-roll, that sort of stuff, the footage, the product footage and what have you. That helps big time. The other thing that helps big time is having a second camera to cut to. So while I'm talking to this camera and you're seeing me speaking to the camera, you might occasionally see this angle, so we switch from that to this. So you see me almost like in third person, kind of, watch, what's the best word? Like an onlooker, kind of watching me film the video. So we switch between these 2 cameras. So that's the first thing. It keeps up interest. Hopefully, not everyone likes it. I do get a few comments that it doesn't look like you're talking to us when you switch to this camera. Well, I appreciate that, but there's a balance here. There's always a balance. We always do this stuff for a reason. We're not just doing it because we want 2 cameras. It's more complicated with this, by the way. I'd rather have 1 camera, but we always do these things for a reason. The other reason is because I make mistakes, or there's a gap somewhere. There's a cut we've had to make where we've cut out me breathing in or hiccuping or something happening, and just a loud tractor driving past the studio, which does happen daily, trust me. There's a tractor shop, I'm not joking, just down the road. When that happens, you've got 2 choices. Either you punch in, so you go from this to this, there's like a cut like that which hides the error or the breath or whatever. The other way of doing it, which is much sneakier, is switching to the other angle. So if I'm speaking into this camera and I kind of go like that or something in between a sentence, we get rid of that bit and then we cut to this. So it looks like there's no cut basically. It looks like it's one continuous sentence, but it's not. There you go, pulling back the veil on how this stuff works. So 2 camera setup. Now it's time to sit over there and do this A-roll filming, which I'm just going to get on with. I'm still not enjoying it, I'll be honest, but let's get cracking. This is the Samsung Z Flip. There you go. Immediately a mistake. This is the Samsung Z Flip 6, and once again, Samsung has played a blinder. Done. So that is the A-roll for the Flip 6 video finished. Sorry, very dry throat. It's very warm in here now. That's the other thing. When I'm filming A-roll in the summer, I can't have the AC on because it's very noisy and it just doesn't work with the mic. The problem with that is that you get very hot. It gets very warm in here with the lights and the cameras and stuff and things generating heat. So that's always fun. But anyway, no, it went really well. I enjoyed doing that. It was a lot smoother than previous A-roll shoots. And what I'm finding, which is interesting, is that because someone else is doing the editing, I think it's helping. Which is weird because I always assumed that when I give up the editing and let someone else do it, I'd be really self-conscious and worry about them seeing all of the errors and the mistakes and the swearing at yourself and all that sort of stuff. And yes, they do see that, obviously, but it doesn't bother me. I think, again, it comes down to that trust thing. You know, I trust Niall. We've been working together now for a little while, and he knows what it's like. He does stuff in front of camera himself occasionally, and he works in this industry, so he knows what it's all about. And we're not perfect. None of us are perfect with this. So if you're doing this kind of thing, if you're getting into creating content and doing this as hopefully as a living yourself one day, you will be hypercritical of yourself, and I'm incredibly critical of my own performance on these things. I know I'm overcritical because whenever I put it into, when I used to put it into Final Cut Pro and edit it myself, the multiple takes that I did, the first one normally was fine. But I get this thing in my head where I'm thinking, oh, that was terrible, let's do it again. Then that one's terrible, then the next one's terrible, and so on and so forth. The kind of thing continues. You will be hypercritical, but that's all on you, because most people won't notice anything. Any of those errors they won't notice. Anyway, little thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's that basically. Now I am going to sign off this vlog here just because time check, it's 1:45, and I think as I mentioned earlier, now that I've done that A roll, I need to do the B roll of the phone, which is fairly involved. And then if I have got time, do the little short form stuff. Not sure if I'll get time to do that today, but I hopefully will. Because I've got a call as well. I've got to do a call at about 3:30 or something like that. So time's a little bit tight basically, which means I just need to crack on. And I know what I'm like. I'll forget to turn this camera on again until later. And then, it doesn't work out very well at all. So, as always, guys, if you've been watching this vlog to this point, thank you so much. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. It does make I know we all say this, but it makes a massive difference to how it performs in the algorithm. And yeah, tell your mates. If you know someone who wants to get into this game and wants to see what it's actually like behind the scenes, let them know what I'm doing, because we're having fun with this channel. And as always, I'll catch you next time. And I think the next vlog will be me going somewhere away from the studio, so that should be interesting. Catch you then.